Hello, friends, and welcome to our 15th. Oh. Oh, you heard me. Oh, never mind then. I was looking at the wrong thing. I just saw bars not moving. My bad. My bad. Hello. I'm sorry. I was looking at a setting that I thought I had unsettinged because I know for the D&D one just a little bit ago I had it on the wrong setting and I was like, oh no, I've done the same thing again. But no, we're good. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. My face was speaking volumes. Yeah, no, it's good. Hello and welcome to our 15th episode of the Star Wars Desperate Gamble GM stream. I am once again the sole host of this GM stream. I really need to get the overlays sorted out, but I do love having our temporal co-host Aabria off to the side here. Looking at bars not moving. Speakeasy proprietor confirmed. Yeah. I was just looking at the wrong bars. So, we didn't have an episode last week, so we haven't got to action on our Star Destroyer prep yet. I also noticed that the Discord has been incredibly lively with various discussions, as well as I saw some more racing teams, if they end up going the racing route, drafted up in the Discord. So that's great. I've been looking to translate that stuff over. So I'm very, very excited about that. But I thought today, because we're kind of like on a weird, we've done 2 GM streams rather than like a game in between, sort of a pivot here. I thought we could take a little time to think about where we might be taking our friends once they want to get off world. Now, we've got a couple of options, and I wanted to go over them with you. And that is, I'm sort of tempted to create a sector. So a sector in Star Wars is defined as a system of a grouping of no more than 50 inhabited star systems. So a sector is it's like a small province of space, basically. I'm tempted to create a sector, that is like the Vode sector, and we can make up the places that are there. Our other option is to figure out where Vode lands on the canonic galactic map, and then decide what is nearby to Vode, and then see if we can work with it. I'm sort of in the let's make our own thing camp, but there are options, There are options, and Star Wars definitely does have so many planets that are basically just mentioned casually or not mentioned at all in any way other than their name for a great number of things. So we've got those 2 options. I'm sort of thinking we go with the creative option because I like making things. Not that the other option wouldn't be, but there's a lot more getting mixed up with canon in there. And yeah, even with our own thing, it should have a location galactically. I mean, you're correct, Ray Fidane. Even if we make a small sector for Vode, we should figure out where it lands canonically within the galactic map. But we know it's Outer Rim, at the very least, but that's probably one of the largest, groupings of planets that exists. So it's just, a very large part of space. Anyhow. That's sort of the plan, today. I want to maybe come up with, 2 or 3 destinations that we could send our lovely party to after Vode, and get everybody's ideas for what kind of a place we could make, what kind of other places. Now we've played a lot in Vode. We've played a lot with making specific stuff for this specific planet. But it'd be nice to sort of go like, well, what if we were doing an entirely different thing, like ground up wise, and what kind of like Star Wars always has these like one biome planets. It's just like a thing that Star Wars does. So, you know, we'll probably follow that trend, but like what kind of places we could send them that are nearby. I get to open the planets tab finally. Which I haven't done since the beginning of our stream. So if I go over here, you can see we have a planets tab and it just has vote in it. So we are going to make ourselves a couple of handouts. Let's say 3 handouts. And we're going to try and fill these in with some details about like locations. See, I like this idea. Chaotic Bastard has already come up with a fantastic idea that I quite like of some sort of like a rogue planet or asteroid-based star-based smuggler's haven. Might be really cool. Yeah, of like interlocked ships around. That was you, was it? I don't know. I see it on Chaotic Bastard there. I have a whole concept for that Smuggler Haven spaceship mass graveyard. Oh, well, I mean, I'm just quoting from chat. I like that idea. So let's put that one down as like a place we can definitely go. Like I'm not going to name it yet, obviously, but we'll call it like you know, like a spaceship graveyard. Graveyard station made of old hulks, all sort of welded together. Smuggler's Haven, maybe a pirate organization, because I love that sort of thing when you get these kind of like nice space stations. Smuggler's Haven, pirate organization, a bit on the grimier side, I would say, like, you know, a bit on the like sort of like rough and tumble, grimy, dirty side. Gravity is wonky and there's battle royales in the trash compactor. I mean, you know, I can't at all be unhappy with that. Gravity a little wonky when it comes to certain places. Fight Club slash battle royale sorts of events hosted here. What kind of like a governmental type do we have on a pirate haven smugglers space station made of fused together hulks of ships like anchored to an asteroid or some other large space debris? What kind of a government? What kind of rulership do we have here? Because my immediate thought is like we do some kind of like yeah, like, you know, council of captains. Yeah, exactly. Some kind of like you know, whatever ships make their main anchorage here have like some representation. But yeah, that like there's this secret like droid thing going on behind the back of it. It seems good. I do have a concept for Space Witch Pirate Queen. I mean, Space Witch Pirate Queen is pretty good. Let's do like a vote system based on merit ? Like based on ships or viciousness or just general like renown. You know, we do sort of like a space Viking vibe here, where it's like you get a say no matter who you are, as long as you've got like resources. But it's the people that have like the fleet of ships under their command and the famous names and whatever that get like the real say. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking. So we got like maybe like a couple of figures, one at the highest. I like this idea of Space Witch Pirate Queen Butt Prince, who is the tippy top of that list. And then, you know, several other sort of like lesser captains. Droids keep the place running. All behind the scenes. Probably don't get any credit at all. I mean, like, credits made here are mostly in, like, stealing, smuggling, raiding. It's generally a bit of a rough place. Okay, so that's really cool. I think we've already, like, we just banged, or like, there's a concept. Oh, sorry, there's a concept there that we managed to bang out very quickly, with you, my lovely chat, who already had this idea. That are like now we can use it. We just need to name it. First of all, we need to name the station. And then we need to maybe think about some specific characters who would be important. Maybe like a first landing sort of scene. Scrap Hive 6 was my name for it. That's pretty good. Edge of the Empire is the system that we use for this game. I do like the something. Certainly, like the something kind of a name would be good. The print is good. I like that. I also saw one earlier that was like Lessic Walk, which is also really cool. Typhoon Station. It's pretty badass. I think I like the idea of like using the whole like Scrap Hive 6 vibe, but for like the droids in the background. You know, like these other people have sort of like asserted themselves on this location while it's being like repaired and maintained by the like droids that are still there. The promenade is pretty good. Maybe we call it that. Lessic Walk is just Castle Run reverse because I'm cheeky. It's still good. I like the promenade. There's sort of an irony to it, which is wonderful. Let's like put like Scrap Hive as a droid collective term. Lessic Walk is great. It's a great name for something. Definitely want to have a name for something there. But I like the promenade as this like spaceship graveyard. And I'm sure this place is a nightmare to pilot near. You know what I mean? Like there's just like there's no space traffic laws. There's probably like floating pieces of like ship hull and various hulks like left idle, you know. It is probably a nightmare of a place to like actually pilot near unless you're quite good. Because I can only imagine that some people have followed raiding parties back here and that kind of thing. We're talking like, Yeah, you gotta pilot through an asteroid field to the place where the capital ship hulls are like anchored and you know like sort of pulled together, and then there's also like the remnants of whoever's tried to make mischief around here ship-wise, you know, some private bounty hunter or security force or whatever, just like their ship just like floating in space. Just lots of badness. Exposed semi-salvage frigate walkways with competing gravity generators. Yeah, exactly. Gravity's a little wonky. Sometimes you're walking up the side of the wall. Sometimes you're walking along what you could be considered the floor. It's like, you know, it's not. It doesn't. It's MC Escher-like, indeed. Asteroid Wranglers, Space Cowboys. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good. I like it already. Okay. All right. Well, that's a place. We have a place there, like a general place. But then there's like, you know, in the same way that we have locations for Vode, we're going to come up with locations for the promenade, like smaller, more easily describable parts of it, or places that people would go, or that kind of thing. But we don't have to do that right away. I'm interested in the leadership. I'm interested in the droids, and I'm interested in the captains, basically. So like big pirate crew's in charge. I want to know who's in charge of like the biggest one. And maybe like two others, I would say. And then the droid stuff, we need to know like what their deal is for sure when it comes to this place. Because if they're in the background of everything, then there's going to be some secret or something going on there. Because that's just how background entities work in narratives. Each ship is like a district. Yeah, I got you. Just a beautiful and very violent red-headed pirate captain. Okay, we can definitely come up with a beautiful and very violent red-headed pirate captain. I promise you. That's very easy, Salty Ginger. We can do that. Okay, so we have planets, the promenade. This is where we go and we make a subfolder for our NPCs. And we rename the subfolder. We call it the promenade. And we can now, I'm just going to use handouts because I think handouts are great for this. And now we can come up with a wonderful violent red-headed pirate captain. Very easy. This is a vibro cutlass in the system, I think, in the Sons of Fortune book. Nice. Was there some tinfoil hat stuff about the Vode trying to happen on other planets, or is this that a main thing, or are we stepping away from that for a sec? Mostly, we're just looking to create some new environments. The Vodian stuff will depend on how much the players want to seek it out, I think. I'm going to have like some beacons or like places that they want to go, or items that like call out to Vode in general to bring them to these locations, but I haven't come up with like what exactly I want to do with it yet. It is a thing that's like I have to find the through line, but it may not be here. You know what I mean? If you want my Space Witch Pirate Queen concept, her name is Zazarkel, and she's a Dathomirian Zabrak with 2 sentient Rancor friends. She sounds awesome. All right, let's add her. We're going to add her, and then we'll go back for our redhead. Zazarkel. We're going to give her some description here. Dathomirian. Zabrak, Rancor buddies, sentient, hates the Force, just generally, has a sweet throne and commands a very large, very aggressive pirate faction on the promenade. I mean, that gives us a great, a great start off there. So we had Zazakel. And then we will add another handout here. Come on, give me another handout. Oh, it is giving me handouts. I just didn't put Zazakel in the right place. Give me 1 sec. There we go. All right. Let's make our mysterious violent redheaded captain. What's our I guess human? Human captain, violent in nature, quick to anger, and just generally pretty volatile. Let's say commands a few small ships, but numbers have never been their problem, as her crew is well known for their general proficiency and lack of mercy. Her calling card is to always let a single survivor escape in a pod with a message about who stole from the ship or raided the hold or what have you. Whatever it is their objective was. Hates indentured servitude. Always gives any slave a chance to join her when given the option. Redhead with a giant sword, a la Transistor. Yeah, what kind of weapon does this redheaded captain use? She's like a super volatile person, but would never traffic in people. You know what I mean? Like, super angry, super mad, generally not very pleasant, but would never ever traffic in people. A Vodian sword? Ooh. Blunderbuss style, like shotgun blaster, and a vibro cutlass. Yes, vibro cutlass. And high-powered, overcharged sidearm that is prone to make a giant mess of things. She is also a cut lass. Ah, I see what you did there. Butt prince. Hey. Hitzratali is pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna steal that one, Chaotic Bastard. I think that's what we're gonna. Hitzratali. Perfect. She seems great. Done. Boom. She exists now. She's real. I told you I could do it. The Salty Ginger. There you go. Volatile redheaded captain. Violent, quick to anger. Very proficient. All right. One more. Now, we've got 2 pirate captains. So we want a 3rd pirate captain, or do we want to pivot to something else? I mean, I can do more NPCs. It's very easy. Our 3rd pirate captain should be male. or ish trending, because we have two cool ladies. You know what I mean? We wanna trend masculine for this next captain. And when I do that, my brain always goes giant lizard person, because that's just my favorite kind of trending masculine. X-Clone Wars about to turn pirate. Old Duros guy. Duros would be pretty good. Duros are great. A Moncal, so the party thinks they'll be nice, but they aren't. Yeah, let's do a Moncal. Yeah. Moncal, smuggler with the absolutely cleanest record of any smuggler on board. Takes crazy risks, but never seems to get caught by authorities. Let's see. Yeah, crazy risks never punished. Yeah, exactly. Moncal smuggler with the absolute cleanest record of any smuggler on board the Promenade. Takes crazy risks, but never gets caught by the authorities. Believes he's the luckiest person in the galaxy. He also has a super awesome hat. Yes. Definitely the hat. I like it. Wears a long coat, and has lots of gold and silver rings on his sucker fingers. Pure Beskar knife, yeah. Beskar knife on his belt. Clearly one of those wears his wealth sorts of fellows. Pet parrotfish. Pet parrotfish. How would you transport a pet parrotfish? How would you keep a parrotfish with you if you're a Moncal? In like a bowl? I love the idea, but I'm just trying to conceptualize it. Floating orb filled with water. That follows where he goes. Inside is his pet parrotfish, Polly. Perfect. He's the greatest. What's his name? We don't have a name for this Moncal. Yes! Can mimic people perfectly. But it's underwater, so it sounds weird. Groggo Plop and Tanger Tombo. Tanger Tombo is so good. Tanger Tombo is the greatest. I'm definitely using that one. There we go. We got Tanger Tombo, the Moncal smuggler. So these are our three leaders. There's like leadership, quote unquote, when it comes to the Promenade. Obviously, if every single other person on the Promenade voted against them, they'd be outvoted. But these are your majority shareholders, so to speak, of like the voting power on the Promenade. When it comes to like what major thing are we going to get involved with? What decision are we going to make that affects all of us? These three are your like major decision makers. And how do we make them into a polycule? A pirate polycule. I mean, that's as easy as saying they're a polycule. But I don't know I don't know that they are. Yeah, these are your big boy. These are your powerful, influential people here on the promenade, which I think is great. And the pirates hate each other, so it's never 2v1 pirates to non-pirates. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, getting everybody to vote in the same direction on this place is probably like a zero-sum game. Like, nobody's gonna want the same thing, and everybody votes for their own benefit, right? Like, it's never gonna be selfless, I think, is the take. And most of what people do on the promenade is probably it doesn't require a vote. You know what I mean? Getting your own ships to go out and do your own stuff is fine. But if you needed to get like the entire gang of the promenade together to like take out some lousy security force that keeps bothering you or whatever, like you'd have to make a vote for that, or anything that would affect everyone. You know what I mean? Getting involved in the big stuff. So the votes don't come up very often. People voting selfishly? Now that's science fiction. Yeah, ain't it just? The droids run all the important stuff anyway. Yeah, the pirates just live there, you know, and take advantage of the sort of the fact that it is running. Here's a question. Here's a leading question, perhaps, my friends. What are the droids doing that is irrelevant to the pirates, but that is like the main function of this place? Why did the scrap hive of droids that built this place build it? Why does it exist outside of being a great place for ne'er-do-wells to hang out? The main droid leader is someone you have a concept for? Oh, well, let's add them. I'm more than happy to do so. Main droid leader. You got something for me, Bud Prince? Hit me up. I'm into it. So let's go down here. Get ourselves like a main droid leader / speaker. We'll say those are droids of secretly manipulating the pirates that are providing them with something. Yeah. Droid leader, now more like the core of the systems of this station, of the promenade. All sorts of arms and cords all strung through their central systems. They have direct control over the workings of the station, though obviously not everything goes according to plan all the time. Wants the droids to continue to survive and thrive on the promenade. Scrap hive existed before the pirates moved in, but the violent captains and their ilk have provided quite adequate protection to those remaining droids without causing them much trouble. Does this droid have a name or like a designation? This like central systems droid. What do we think? I love numbered names for important droids. You know? Yeah, it's like something 01, you know? It's always good, like first among. We'll do an 01. Let's call them Let's call them Scrap 01. For now. We'll come back to it if we want to change it. Some stuff we should add to the planets, having just spoken about what we're doing there, is that we should add scrap five for the collective term. Pirates and occupants generally don't bother the droids. As they've got some kind of arrangement. Droids reside in a lot of the vacuum, a lot of the oxygen restricted areas, and work to slowly expand the station. Getting airlocked is the walk the plank equivalent. Yep, I like that. I like that a lot. Airlocking them. Okay, cool. Added that to the promenade because it's important. It's important information. So we've got 4 promenade NPCs and the promenade itself. Generally written out here, but we have 2 more mysterious notes that are not yet set for locations. What other locations are in the Vode sector? I don't want to, I love the promenade, and now I want to write so much more about the promenade, but I said we were going to look at locations today, not location. So what other planets are there? I'm tempted to do like a nuclear winter planet. You know what I mean? Like there are some signs that there was life like there was on Vode, but there was some disaster that like ended it all. And the planet is like in an ashy, snowy, frozen over like cold environment. Basically uninhabited. Kaiju planet. Hollow Earth planet. The still living areas inside the cross like underground planet. We already have a little bit of underground. We have a little bit of underground already for Vode. I don't want to like repeat the like we live underground thing. To appeal to our players who love to explore. Yeah, Kaiju planet. Our players do love to explore. It's true. I'm just like, I don't know if I can, when I'm thinking about planets, I don't know if I can hit a better home run than we did with Vode. Vode is such a fucking cool ass place. Maybe a fairly young, unstable planet, not necessarily volcanic, but like shifty, wobbly. These don't have to be super deep lore like Vode. No, they don't. My brain immediately there's like I'm still in this like nuclear winter planet sort of vibe. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make secret Imperial base, like functioning Imperial base, like under the radiation, like avoidance of the scans and radar. Like there are still operating Imperials on this planet in this sector. Secret Imperial base. Obscured by the weather / radiation. Connected to the remnant. and a staging area for possible incursions back into the Vode sector when things calm down or are a little more stable. Lots of military gear, lots of vehicles and equipment storage. Mostly a depot. I don't know what this planet would be called. What planet? What name should this horrible, like, bombed out nuclear winter planet have? Mostly a depot, very let's say very full of himself. Commander who believes this place to be incredibly important when in fact it's basically abandoned by the outside world, at least for now. Erdau is pretty good. I like Erdau. Super wide oval trajectories to the like X 100 years of Goldilocks zone, then it gets too far away to be habitable. Yeah. Skeleton crew running the place. Though all of them are loyalists. No real traffic in or out. So a ship in atmosphere would be an anomaly. It's an actual nuclear winter, or is very stormy like Camino. I mean, I haven't written it fully. This one, I'm putting it away. It's a good if we need some Imperial entanglements possible maneuver. We had a lot more fun with the promenade, but you know, it's just I'm just gonna put that one away. Put that one to the side for now. Okay, let's see. One more. What sort of other planet can we do? I like the idea of this sort of like younger, unstable sort of planet. You know, maybe call back to GM Prep 1, a paradise planet where the Killian family live. Oh, we do like a resort planet. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Paradise planet, quote unquote. That is a popular tourism and vacationing spot for those in the core, though it's sort of a little less legal than some others of its same type. You know, we're talking about taking a vacation in a country that is not as well protected as, you know, like some places, because we're talking about like this is like an outer rim vacation planet, you know what I mean? This is like going to this is like taking a vacation in a fairly lawless area, you know. It's not going to be as money can solve a lot of problems here. Let's just put it that way. So sort of less legal than in places of the same type. All sorts of artificial islands and sandy beaches, as well as underwater habitats. Kellyan family lives here. Let's say lives and works here. There's a fairly large distribution of wealth between visitors and residents, mostly. Those who work here generally don't get a whole lot of chance to enjoy the amenities. Like the islands on Bellerophon in Firefly. Yeah, that's not a bad parallel. Exactly. Islands are more like water-based ships, but the guides call them islands. Fairly large distribution of wealth between visitors and residents. Those who work here generally don't have a whole lot of chance to enjoy the amenities. Competitions over the best spots. And islands takes the form of bidding wars mostly. Most of the planet is owned by a former banking clan employee who cashed out big during the Clone Wars. All of this is their private project, funded by an obscene amount of wealth. And a good relationship with the Hutt cartel. Okay, what are we naming this paradise planet? What are we calling it? Bezel. Bezel is pretty good. Ooh, enormous whales. Yes, definitely we're gonna add enormous whales. Enormous whales. Like Bezel 5. Yeah, alright, Bezel 5 it is. Bezel 5. Hell, it's an even better bezel. It's Bezel 6. We lost the first 4. It's been a long series of projects. So if we go back up to our NPCs, we can add another subfolder for Bezel. I don't have one for Erdal because I don't have any striking ideas. But we need the banking clan employee, obviously, in here. The banking clan are run by. Hang on, let me. The Intergalactic Banking Clan. I mean, they're run by all sorts. I mean, it's a clan rather than a. But they're mostly moon, like from Moonalist, I feel like. Yeah, the Moonalist banking clan. It's a division of the intergalactic banking clan, based on the planet Moonalist. These are the guys I'm thinking of. Let's say Moon banking clan, former employee who cashed out when things got rough during the Clone Wars, knew just the right time to embezzle government money and escape unharmed. Yeah, the moon. What is the name of our banking clan employee? Works closely with Killian. Loves ship designs. And has basically a hangar full of every personal luxury vessel the Killians have ever released. Hear me out, Groggo Plop. I'm a oot. Thyloproc I like. Let's do that. It's good. Done. Works closely with the Killians, loves ship designs, and has basically a hangar full of luxury cars. You know what I mean? Luxury vessels. Willing to throw obscene amounts of money at basically anything that comes across his flight of fancy. He's not difficult to convince. But he is rather irritated if he feels manipulated. This is the kind of guy who you'd be like, I'd like to open a donut shop. And he'd be like, donuts? I love donuts. Here's $50,000. Go open a donut shop so I can have them. You know what I mean? Like, just like the fucking worst kind of rich person. He definitely gets constantly loans and stuff, you know what I mean? Seemingly endless pockets. Boom. Thyloproc. Perfect. Other rich people, I'm sure we can come up with along the way. But you see, we have 3 locations now. Totally came up with 3 random locations, and we can continue to brainstorm them in the background while we finish up our Vodian adventures. I expect that the party will go back to Vode. And the other thing is, all of these characters that we've invented, I'm immediately thinking like, oh, how are they going to interact with Yutiko? You know what I mean? Like, if Zelarax brings her Yutiko thugs to the promenade, like, how's that going to go? What's that interaction going to look like, you know? When they chase the players, like, you know, across the galaxy looking for the amulet or what have you, you know, the MacGuffin, what is that going to look like? And all that kind of fun stuff. Do the pirate clans care about Fog of War? I guarantee you there are a section of them that definitely want it if they don't have it. Let's be honest. I mean, they're exactly the kind of people you would market it to on the private market, so to speak. But yeah, so I thought this was a good use of our sort of like our GM prep stream today, because like I said, we'd already done the prep for next session. We didn't have a session yet last week because folks were not available. I know that Gabe, I think, is going to be leaving the show, at least for a little while, because of being busy with some other stuff. So I'll be on the lookout for a new cast member to replace Gabe in the meantime. So I'll get to see what I do with Kryno based on his previous actions. Should be fun. So now that I know that for sure, I can sort of plan for it. Send out all of our love. Obviously, I will send all of your love to Gabe for being on the shows and being around and so on. It's been great. It's been great having him, but I know he's got like a lot of shit to do, a lot of busy. It's all good, you know what I mean? No problems. Yeah. So I'm already looking for alternates. I've reached out to my ephemeral co-GM, Aabria, to give me some recommendations, and we're working together to like zone in on some stuff. So, you know, Aabria, though a horrible robot on this screen, is still involved in this show on a back, what do you call it, like a behind the stage method, because I won't let her go. No, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm working on that, and obviously this week we won't have a new cast member. I'm not ready for it this week. It may be a couple of weeks before we replace Gabe, because I need to get like the right timing. So we'll just be focusing on our 3 current cast members until then. And yeah, that's the plan. Cool. Let's do the whole like we are closing out the stream thing. Hi, I don't know if you've been listening to me ramble this whole time and you don't know who I am. I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf, where I do a whole bunch of stuff, including play in a D&D game on Mondays. We're gonna be doing Candlekeep Mysteries. Our first episode next week. We did our session 0 this week over on twitch.tv/DND at 1 p.m. on Mondays, 1 p.m. PST. I also do a bunch of like strategy game stuff on my own channel. I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings 3 at the moment, as well as we do a writing stream on my channel every Tuesday. Right now we're making our way through a bunch of Warlock spells for 5e, which is very fun and very cool. This show and this GM stream in particular, if you're like, dude, I wasn't done coming up with ideas for the promenade, and I would like to share some more of those, please. You can do so on our Discord, which obviously is a great place to come up with new ideas and talk to people who are involved in the show and just generally like get some stuff out there. I use that Discord a lot for like GMing stuff and getting plans and ideas together for what I'm gonna do. So it's a great place to be. What else? Oh, right, Roll20, obviously. You guys should definitely, if you haven't already, sign up for a free account on Roll20.net. If you're thinking to yourself, I would love to have a bunch of subfolders that I can put stuff in so that I can look at my notes in an organized and readable way on a computer, but also have that attached to a dice roller and a sweet virtual tabletop and basically everything you need to play any tabletop game you want over the vast gulf of the internet through the tubes, then Roll20.net has you covered. Sign up today. Roll20.net for free. I don't have a good tagline this time. Roll20.net. You play tabletop games through the tubes of the internet. I didn't think about my tagline before I started talking. Anyway, that's that. So I'll see you folks tomorrow for the actual session of Star Wars Desperate Gamble at 1 p.m. PST right here. And have a good one. Bye, nerds.